What do you feel? It's getting hot, right?
Yeah.
Can you make it hot enough to make a fire?
Yes.
With your hand?
Yes. You gotta use
All right, well, that's basically the principle of what this does. This is a drill, is what it's called. And the drill rubs on what's called the hearth board. You spin it around faster and faster. Now, I can't do that with my hands, really, so I'm going to use a simple machine here with this. It's just a bow that you shoot an arrow with, but I'm going to put this in here, and then I'm going to use the bow to spin it.
Oh.
Okay? And I have to do two things. One, I have to work the bow, and I also have to bear down to put pressure so I can get enough friction in that hole right there to create. Number one, it's going to create, what are the three things we need to make fire? Triangle of fire. Three things. What's one? Heat, right? So what's going to give us the heat? Friction of the wood rubbing together, right? What's the other thing we need?
Oxygen.
We need oxygen. So at the bottom of this little V right here, it's going to collect, what's the third thing?
Fuel.
You got it, good job. And you weren't even here to hear it, so you know your stuff. So it's going to create small, like dust, where the wood's rubbing together. It's going to create these little fibers, and they're going to fill up in this V, all right? And that's going to be the fuel. And then the heat is going to be the drill spinning in that divot, and the air is going to come in. Do y'all see that underneath? The air is going to come in underneath. And so you're going to do that. Probably he'll bite me right when I start, I'm sure. But so we'll have the three things, which are fuel, heat, and oxygen. Very good. All right. So this, I don't know if you guys will think this looks easy, but it's a little bit challenging. Now, once we do this, it's not going to burst into flame. It's going to create what's called a coal. Y'all ever seen a cigarette before?
Yeah.
You know what the end of the cigarette looks like?
Yeah.
Okay, that's a coal, all right? And that's what I'm going to create here, and then I'm going to have to put that coal in here, and then I'm going to have to, so that's going to be the fuel, right? And then the coal's going to have the heat, and what am I going to get it?
Air.
Okay? And then we'll complete the triangle of fire right here. All right, if y'all are ready, we'll give it a try. And I'll forewarn you, it's not a fast thing. I may have to stop and start several times to get it just right, because everything has to be just right to make this work. So be patient with me. I want heat on that end. I don't want heat on this end, so watch. I spit in it, so that way it'll keep it from getting as hot in my hand. Looking at y'all and I put my drilling backwards. One thing that may happen is I may have to tighten up that string before it's finished. Y'all notice something happening?
Yeah.
Not there yet.
Smell it.
Okay, so now, if y'all want to look at this, it's kind of neat. You can see in this V over here. Don't try not to touch it or anything. But if you look in that V, what do y'all see in there?
I can't see a thing.
Well, you don't see a coal yet, unfortunately. You see those little shavings, that little charred shaving, right?
Yeah.
The reason that the drill popped out was because my string was stretched and gotten too loose, so I have to tighten it back up. So we got to start anyway, because that hole is almost halfway full of fuel. Still got to create.
I watched the guy who did it with, he made a drill.
Everything's working good right now. Y'all hear that hiss? It's kind of hissing. That's a good sound.
The embers building up in that little groove too.
Oh, look at that.
Beautiful. Oh, it smells smoke. Please don't lean forward. But it smells so much smoke.
So what are you looking for?
Make sure it smokes on its own, and it's not.
Okay.
So I'm gonna have to. What it's starting to do is that was real pointed before, like a pencil, right? My pencil point's getting dull. So what's happening is It's what's called shouldering out. So where it's getting where the thin part's wearing down, it's getting wider, it's starting to bear against this, and it's getting real hard to turn. So I can't go fast enough to get enough heat to get that to turn into a coal. So now I've got to make an adjustment here and get this thing a little bit more sharp. That's right. So that way it's not going to hit shoulder out on the edge of it. And see where that wood is turned black?
Yes.
When you burn wood like that, it gets really hard. And the harder the wood is, the harder it is to make fuel in that notch. So now that this is kind of like fire hardened, which is another thing you can do with fire, harden wood to use as tools. We didn't talk about that earlier, but it makes it harder. So sometimes when you go for the coal and it doesn't work, you got to turn around and start over and resurface this each time. Not always, but in this case, it's really burned.
So it's easier to put fuel down there with some fresh wood.
Yes,
Is
sir.
there any particular woods that are ideal for this?
The rule of thumb with bow drill woods is any wood that you can take, it's got to be dry. When you hold it to your face, it should feel cool. If it's wet at all, it's not going to work. And it needs to be something that you can take your thumb and press it. Y'all see that? You need to be able to press the thumb into it. It makes
So
it
real hardwoods are not ideal. for that?
hardwoods are like it makes your job really. If you want to be excellent with your technique, practice with hardwood. If you get a goal with that, you're the man. You know, with the bow drills. So the softer the wood, generally, the easier it is. Like tulip poplar is a really soft wood. Pine is a soft wood. Willow is a soft wood. Cottonwood is a really good one. We don't have a lot of it. See, the problem is people are watching me. You see, yesterday I did this, and I was like, I better do that just to practice before I try to show people. And within 15 to 20 minutes, I carved a set, made a bow, blew it in the fire, and I took a shower before I ever got ready.
I got this.
No problem. But see, when people watch you, it's almost
Wet weather, this has got to be super hard
it
to
makes
do.
it a lot. This moisture is terrible. It really does make a difference. I can tell it.
Imagine
But
being
if you're
freezing
out in the
cold
woods
middle of
somewhere,
winter
you
with
need a fire.
AC.
You're cold.
Hands are not working real well.
Oh man.
I want to be in the
See,
AC.
and you're making a really good point because did y'all notice earlier when I had that tender bundle and I took the back of my knife and I went and it was burning? Did y'all remember that?
Yeah.
Y'all have a thing in your possession right now with a whistle on it?
Yes.
Do y'all see how valuable that is now? Because if you don't have that, this is what you have to do. Which one would you rather do? Have fire or have to sit here and do all this? Yeah, me too. Me too. So this is what you have to do when you fail to carry that or lose it or whatever. This is the
What do you
punishment right
do?
here.
Why do you strike the back of the knife with? How do you start a fire earlier? He's used to being barefooted.
True.
You're right. Spend more hours barefoot
more
than
than
doing
20
shoes.
years right now. For more than 20 years.
Have you been doing it that long?
Yes, if it's a good rifle, I'll take on
That's a good trick of wetting that
How long's
spot
he
there
been
so it
doing?
doesn't burn.
Sorry.
You can also take grass or leaves and press in that hole. It'll also help it.
Why are you doing it so close?
Because that way, when I lean my leg, see my leg is leaning against my arm and my arm's pulling against my leg.
Oh.
Like what? Reaction type, right? Push and pull. It's like martial art, right? Same
Yeah.
thing. So I'm pushing my leg forward, I'm pulling my hand back, and by doing that, I can hold myself steady. If I didn't do that, I'd be wobbling all over the place, and every time I move that thing, it'd go flying. Reader, take and lock your hand into your shin like that. And that way you can hold yourself steady. And also my shoulder is over top of where I'm pushing. See, if I'm out here like this, and my shoulder, now I'm not using my body weight, I'm using arm strength. When I do this, now I'm kind of leaning my body weight right down, so I don't have to work
Less
as hard.
strenuous.
It's just an uncomfortable position. The other thing you'll see me do is I kind of like sit this back. I feel more comfortable like this. Some people feel comfortable with it closer to them. You just have to find where it's.
My body doesn't bend that far back like that, man. I'd be busting something off.
Trust me, I'm gonna be all right. At least I forewarned you.
It's going to take
Alright.
about 20 million
Crossing my
tries.
eyes.
Using the same bow?
Same bow, same handhold.
Don't worry, it's still going to take you 20 million tries.
You can do it. Watch this. That sounds good.
Do
It does. It feels good
it.
too. To have that long spindle in you.
Cross your fingers. I'm crossing my eyes. I'm crossing my eyes too. Come on, wood, burn. Come on, wood. You're crazy. Smoke, smoke.
Wood burn or we're going to kill you.
Smoke, 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 smoke. Hey, if you don't burn
It's an underage smoker. Burn wood or we're gonna
just
burn
throw it in the
burn
lake.
you.
Pay attention, guys.
He's almost got it. Come on, come on. Keep on going.
He's grimacing in pain.
Go fast, forever.
It's hard.
Go in there or something.
It's there.
Yeah. But there's just in there.
Smoldering. Take it out.
That wood was too far gone, I think.
Put the ashes in there.
I see the fire. I see the smoke, but not the fire.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to see fire yet.
So right now,
You got a burning ember in there?
it's there. Right now.
Someone's gotta blow it.
But just because you got that does not mean that you can make a fire.
All right. We have to be patient right now, right? Because I'm out of breath, tired, and I don't want to mess it up. So I'm gonna leave it alone for a minute. I'm gonna catch my breath.
And I always thought you had to immediately jump on it to
the
got
worst.
the smolder,
He could sit there probably 5 minutes. Now, I was telling him earlier, you guys weren't up here, so I've got 2 levels to this bark. This is cedar bark. Y'all collected some for yourself. This is part of all the 100 trees that you guys collected. All right. And what that's doing is all that fuel is there. It's like a cigarette basically. It's just grow and grow and spread. Heat spread and it's starting to burn more. Notice the smoking more. It's also clumping up if you know. So what I'm going to do is find the finest part of this tinder bundle, which is right here in the center. And the fibers are just like hair almost. And when I pour that in there, let me rephrase that. When I bring the tinder bundle to that and dip it in there, I don't want it to fall through the tinder bundle. I want it to hold all that little fine stuff together. Notice the wind's blowing. So what's that giving it? Oxygen. That's right. Hey, I'm gonna get myself back up in a position I can work from. And I did put a little piece of wood down here so I can manipulate this. And I'm gonna bring this to this. Very carefully make the 2 together. The wind's gonna help me a little bit. Treat it like a taco.
I'm getting it.
We just got a fire started. Don't want to let it go. Shoot, I'll smoke in the room. Yeah, me too. I don't want it.
What? Don't miss it.
I see a spark. I see a lot of sparks.
Ooh, look at that.
Yeah.
You always turn the tinder bundle over on top of itself because fire rises, heat rises.
He has made fire.
Now I can take all of this stuff like that that I used when I made my bow set.
Man, that is the first time I've ever seen anybody do that. That is awesome.
Thank you.
You're like a caveman.
Now I just need a
People try, but
spear
I've
with
never
some
seen
raw
success.
meat.
Never seen
And it's
success.
Ooh, it's starting to get hotter.
Oh, that smells good, man.
Well, we're cooking some chicken.
Now would y'all rather do it that way or use your ferro rod?
Pharaoh.
Before,
Do it that way. Do it that
On
way.
that tinder bundle is burning. Thank you. Now what would I have put on that tinder bundle?